And welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from the beautiful Garden City of Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a fantastic weekend so far. I hope you're all healthy and happy. Students, we're looking at IELTS speaking part 3, talking about business and career. If you were in the class that just concluded 30-40 minutes ago, you know that part 2 was about a business idea that you have had. So here, of course, part 3 speaking for the IELTS will continue to relate and connect to part 2. In part 2, we talked about the business idea of opening a farmer's market. Then we also had Sanantha give us a nice presentation about opening a cafe, and Domenico about starting up a dive shop. Nadi came up with the idea of the farmer's market. Students, again, we will continue to use our websites in this class, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. These are the websites that power these live classes. If you like watching and participating regularly, it is a really good idea to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. It doesn't cost a lot. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. I'm a certified British Council agent. I hold a degree in psychology, and I have helped thousands of students to achieve their IELTS scores. So you're in good hands, and we will use this website shortly. For general IELTS students, it's the green background. Click this big red button here that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Welcome back, Alexi, Chen, our moderators. Nice to have you on board with us. Nice to see all of our viewers, members here with us today. It's fantastic. Thank you for being here with us and sharing in this lesson. This lesson is interactive, so you will hear other students and potentially yourself if you volunteer in a little bit. Students, use the code READ9 on the websites for a 10% discount when you're checking out. Follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS for schedules. We're putting up lots and lots of reels, practice for the speaking section these days, so check out those reels. All good for helping you master English and communication, of course, IELTS. For questions, send an email, Adrian, aehelp.com. It's my name, at aehelp.com, or admin at aehelp.com. Hi, Snehal. By the way, lots of new members have joined recently, and it looks like most of them are doing great, participating in the live classes. That's awesome. Happy to have you all with us. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Amazon does have our exam books if you want the carbon, the paper version of those books. AE Helps Academic IELTS, GE Helps General IELTS. Look for those books. Send us an email for the audio when you have those books. March 25th to April 1st. Right now, speaking part 3. Then we've got a little bit of a break for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Back on Thursday. Live classes run usually Thursday to Saturday. And on the days when you don't have live classes, check for new videos and use the course. Use the interactive course. That's a great way to prepare. Okay. Here is a video with Vietnamese, Band 9, IELTS speaking candidate. Really informative. Check it out. Okay, I've put it into the chat as well, so take a look at that when you have a minute. Students, IELTS speaking part 3, let's get right into it. So what the examiners are looking for here for those nice high band scores is good detailed language. Sounds like a conversation. Okay. Always think about giving answers, explanations, and examples. Okay. That's the goal here. So here's the first question introducing the topic. Let's talk more about business. What is the advantage of owning a business instead of working for an employer? So give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Put it into the chat, and then very quickly today we will be switching to volunteers because I want you to do lots of practice, and we have about 1 hour for this class today. So I want to give as many of you as possible a chance to practice so I can give you a band score estimate, and I can teach you strategies, tips, vocabulary, grammar to help you achieve better scores, okay? So, Alaunis, you joined. That's nice. Awesome. Send us an email so we can get you those links for those exclusive videos. Okay. All right. Donna Bell says, owning a business means you are your own boss. Okay, this is Donna Bell's answer. Donna Bell, this would be about a band 5 until here. The examiner here is thinking, so what? Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, also another important tip with this is do not use you, okay, when you're answering these questions. It makes the conversation low quality. Because it's inaccurate. Like, for example, Donna Bell, if you're talking about me, like you're saying when you, yeah, I own my own business, so thanks for that information. It's awkward, right? So it's like, it's weird to, even though I know you're not talking about the examiner, it does sound that way, so it's awkward, and you avoid better words. So it means that the entrepreneur or the owner is independent, right? So you avoid better words by using you or your. It's kind of like things, right? You avoid better words with those words, okay? So don't use you, okay? Donna Bell, owning a business, let's change this into a band 9, okay? And then you'll see what I mean, all right? Let's make this a little bit bigger for those of you on mobile phones. Owning a business means a person is their own boss, so they have more control regarding time and finances. My father owns a real estate company, and although he works hard, he can take a vacation whenever he wants. Now it's a band 9. Okay, so answer, explanation, example. Donna Bell, do you see how I did that? Do you see how I turned that concept into a more accurate, detailed, clear answer? So owning a business means a person is their own boss, so they have more control regarding time and finances. My father owns a real estate company, and although he works hard, he can take a vacation whenever he wants. That's your band 9. Okay, Donna Bell says, yes, I did. All right, Donna Bell, thank you. And everybody, make sure to repeat, copy and repeat. Okay, so copy and repeat, speak and repeat. Okay, very important. We're here to practice. All right. Snehal, our newest member. Is Snehal our newest member? We've had a few join today, which is kind of exciting. No, sorry, Alaunis is our newest member. Snehal is definitely fresh, but not the newest. Well, anyway, Snehal says this. So Snehal says, In my opinion, owning a business really provides more freedom in terms of methods and also gives you choice for flexible working hours. Like, I am a biology tutor, and if I have my own educational classes, where's the rest of it, Snehal? Got kind of nipped by the word limit, right? Okay, Snehal, definitely don't jump around with the subject, right? So you can't say people and then you and then me, and it's kind of like, who are we talking about? You, me, people, everybody. So control it. In my opinion, owning a business really provides more freedom in terms of time and money. Methods doesn't really make too much sense, and also gives the individual choice for flexible working hours. Like, I am a biology tutor, and if I have my own classes, okay, that's getting a little bit weird there. Let's just make that simpler, more accurate. And if I have commitments, I can schedule students to fit my university responsibilities, right? So like going to classes, doing projects. So Snehal, in my opinion, owning a business really provides more freedom in terms of time and money, and also gives the individual choice for flexible working hours. Like, I'm a biology tutor, and if I have commitments, I can schedule students to fit my university responsibilities, or just fit my responsibilities. Yeah. Okay. All right. What are negatives? So again, the speaking is conversational. So the kinds of questions, especially when you're doing a good job, the kinds of questions the examiner asks you are connected, okay? So if the examiner in speaking part 3 is asking you these kinds of connected questions, that means you're doing a good job. That means that you're answering accurately with good detail, and they're having a good conversation with you. That's a good sign, okay? So what are the negatives? Kevin, nice to have you in the class. Kevin says, this: the disadvantages of being the owner of a brand are the intense and persistent pressure of trying to keep the company profitable and the employees happy. The reason why these tasks are so stressful is that they are very difficult and would have dire consequences if failed. The CEO of my company actually told me that only 1 out of 5 businesses survive after the first year. And in restaurants, it's 1 out of 13. Okay. Kevin, not bad. We want to be concise. Okay. So you want to find the balance, students. Give a full answer, give an explanation, include your example, and be concise. That means say it in a short and connected way, and that's where the magic happens, and that's where you really have to practice a lot. So Kevin, let's make this more concise, okay? Because as is, you might get interrupted, and it's a bit awkward, okay? So the disadvantage of owning a brand, right? So simplify whenever you can. And a good way to do this is to transcribe your speech. So when you talk, Kevin, record it, then get Google to change speech to text, and then see if you can shorten it with writing. It's good writing practice too. And then say it again, okay? So the disadvantages of owning a brand, sure, is, because we have repetition here, is intense pressure. We don't need the persistent. Intense is enough. Is intense pressure, instead of trying, intense pressure to keep the company profitable and employees and customers, right? Happy. Yeah, that's good. Okay, the reason why these tasks are so stressful, okay, avoid the why, students. So whenever you hear yourself using a question word like why, when, and so on, try to think about, can I say this in a concise way where I don't use the question word? Okay, so you can say the reason is that it is so stressful. Okay, even simpler, this is so stressful and very difficult because failure has dire consequences. Many people can be out of a job. Right? So if you mention dire consequences, that's very impactful. It's like dire consequences. Dire consequences means like terrible results, right? Like dun, dun, dun. So if you say that to the examiner or to a person, right, then the immediate question is like, what? What's that dire consequence? Well, first of all, not just you, but everybody you're employing suddenly has no money, no work, right? So it puts not just one, but multiple people into difficult situations, right? So many people can be out of a job. The CEO of my company, you don't need the actually, just told me that only 1 of 5 businesses survive the first year. Okay, so we definitely notice how it actually became shorter and we said more, Kevin. So if you watched, we actually ended up with less words, but we ended up with an extra piece of information explaining those dire consequences, right? So that would be a band 7 to a band 9 adjustment. Okay, makes sense? The way you can do that is exactly how we're doing this. You say it, you write it, you rewrite it, make it concise, and then you say it again. Everybody got that? It's a really, really, really good practice for part 3. So here is just a tip to great practice for part 3. Answer the question. So this is step 1, right? Answer the question. Step 2, transcribe it. That means turn speech into text. Use Google. Okay, Google can do that for you. Okay, you can even use Google Translate. Just use the English function, right? And then 3, edit the text to be concise and accurate. Step 4, say it again and record it. Step 5, listen to it. Okay, practicing concise language and mastering this skill will be a great benefit in your life, not just on the IELTS exam, but in your school and in your work and in your personal life as well. Okay, communicating information clearly, accurately, quickly with enough detail is the magic to a prosperous, happy, healthy life. I know this, okay? 100%. So don't just do it for the IELTS, but do it for yourself. Do it for the people that you love. When you can communicate to your brothers, sisters, parents, friends, girlfriend, wife, husband, teachers, colleagues in concise, clear format, you will achieve your desired results. You will help them achieve their desired results, and you'll live a happy, healthy life. Got it? It's a very important concept. Okay, and this is a great way to do it, practicing in this way. Okay, it's kind of like you're programming your brain to think in this way. Does that make sense? Yes? Daisy Lee says, yes, yes. Electro Niladri says, okay, got it. Okay, absolutely one of the best projects that you can do for yourself. Okay? All right, Okay, so without further ado, let's get into some practice, okay? So just like before, we're going to talk to our viewers, our volunteers, those brave, beautiful souls who say, hey, yes, I'm going to talk with Adrian and figure out what's going on here, practice these questions, okay? All right. Alexi, very fast, very good, thank you. So Alexi says, to volunteer, this is what you do. Go to the website. I will paste the website in there as well. That's step one. And then follow Alexi's instructions. Follow these instructions here. Okay. You need a My Student account. So obviously YouTube does not let us speak to each other. Doesn't have that ability. But we do. Okay. So you can join our premium IELTS by clicking the big red button, or you can join free by clicking the green button. Either one is okay. The big red button above my head, premium version, great idea. Doesn't cost a lot. We're an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. I'm a certified British Council agent and I hold a degree in psychology. So I have a pretty good idea, as you might guess, of how to communicate, how to get those higher band scores, and I'm here to help you do just that. Get into your My Student account, okay? Check it out. If you have the premium version, make sure to use all of these tabs, okay? Go through all of them. Lesson videos, exams, interactive course, all of those. Check out the additional services. Okay, and then you can use this function at any time in the free or full version. The student partner speaking. Boom, there it is, right above my head. Click on that. Okay, then you get into the chat interface. And in the chat interface, you've got this awesome roster of beautiful people. Donabelle, I see you at the top there. Try volunteering. You can try that first question with me for real with your voice. Okay, and then send me, you'll see me in here, students, as master. Check your system, okay? Try not to test it with me for the first time because it just slows down the class if we're not able to connect. So test your system with others, meaning send a message to somebody, say, hey, let's just say hi to each other, make sure my microphone, speaker, the website, everything works for me and you. And then if it works, then you can say, okay, we can practice more later today. I want to try a sentence or volunteer with Adrian, which is fine. Okay, so and send me a request to volunteer. So say I want to try or volunteer, like Dewey is doing. You can see Dewey here. Dewey, Thu, I see you as well. Yes, you can. Are you ready? We'll give Dewey a chance to showcase his English.
Hi Adrian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dewey?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. It's a beautiful day in Paris, and I'm gonna have a little night chat with you today. So
awesome. Sounds like a storybook when you say that. You're like, it's a beautiful day in Paris. It sounds like the start to a movie. It's a beautiful day in Paris. All right, Dewey, I saw that you were in the previous class, if I remember correctly, as well.
Yes, exactly.
And you didn't have a chance to speak there, but I am curious, what was your business idea?
Well, before that, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Is there such a thing as an overused topic in the part 2 cue card question? Because before when I first saw the question, I come up with the idea of teaching English online, but then you said that it's kind of obvious as an idea. So I kind of changed and shifted my idea into a company that rent out bikes to tourists and residents in Paris. But,
okay. So to answer your question simply, yes and no. So when you say my idea is to basically open an English education school or an English language school, I think that's okay. That's a good idea. It's original. I don't think too many people would go with that idea. But definitely for certain cue cards, there are topics that seem to be overused. For example, for this one, like talk about a business idea, I think maybe opening a restaurant or opening a cafe would be kind of a typical topic that the examiner might hear a little bit, let's say too frequently, where it doesn't sound too original, or they have a hard time not comparing between candidates or among candidates. I don't think in English school is that common. I think that would be okay. The one topic, though, Dewey, that I absolutely recommend avoiding altogether, no matter what comes up, are mobile phones. Okay? I understand that people love their phones and they can't live without them. But for the IELTS, that's probably the one topic that comes up way too often for the examiners is, talk about a business. I want to open a mobile phone shop. Talk about an object. I'm going to talk about my mobile phone. Talk about a gift. It's my mobile phone. Talk about a useful. It's my so everything's a mobile phone. So avoid that one because the examiners hear it too often. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So to answer your question, my idea for part 2 is to open a company that rent out bikes to residents and tourists in Paris.
That's a very clever idea. And here's another interesting point with that, Dewey. So I would imagine that there are at least a few businesses that do that in Paris. So I guess that if I go to Paris today, I have a choice of renting bikes from a few different establishments. Would you agree?
Yeah, there are a lot of businesses that run that kind of business in Paris. And the reason I chose this topic is because I once had a chance to talk with you about an idea to improve the environment. Mm-hmm. And I also talked about the idea of renting out bikes. So I just kind of reuse it, like recycle this idea.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. And I remember that you had done that in the past where you talked about bike rentals. And exactly. I think it's smart. So I think it's smart to be able to adapt an original idea like renting bikes to different kinds of cards. So I absolutely agree with it. It is important to make sure that you do adapt. So you're reflecting the actual question of this is a business idea and you're in it to make profits and you're in it to have a green business that's helping the environment. So to focus on that business concept and not just the concept of bikes in the environment, right? So that's very important. Okay, Dewey, let me ask you a couple of questions and then we'll go from there. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's talk more about business. What is the advantage of owning a business instead of working for an employer?
Running a business offers its owners the luxury of having a more flexible lifestyle and a greater financial outcome for the same effort if they work for somebody else. For example, as I said in part 2, being the CEO of my own company will eventually help me to retire at the age of 40 or 50 without worrying much about the financial aspect.
Are there any negatives?
When talking about the disadvantages of being a CEO, the first thing that comes to mind is the paperwork and the constant pressure of keeping the company afloat and eventually thriving. While CEOs does earn the lion's share of the company's profits, that doesn't come without a cost of being the most affected by any mistakes occurring in the company. I think that's why it's very difficult to run a business successfully.
Awesome. That was really good, Dewey. That would earn you a band 9. It's very methodical, so I can tell you're thinking, you're choosing your words wisely, you have good fluency, you have really nice connection among your ideas. It's very logical. You're using some excellent vocabulary as well. It can always be improved. Band 9 doesn't mean perfect. Yeah. But certainly this is the type of communication that the examiners are looking for that expert level of English. Okay, so they're looking for all of those elements. Let me show everybody what you're doing really well, because I can tell that you're really applying a lot of the strategies that are presented in these classes. So take a look at this beautiful use of a correlative conjunction that Dewey applied right away. So Dewey started the sentence with whether, and here this is a challenging way to answer this question because you are creating a situation where you have to say whether or. So once you start with whether, There's no there's no way to avoid that or option.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous because sometimes students get stuck, or people get stuck and they don't know what to say with the or. They're like, or I don't know. So it's a bit dangerous, it's a bit risky, but if you can do it, it's going to get you some marks for sure. So you said whether a business offers its owners a luxurious lifestyle or time to spend with their family, for instance.
Yep.
Certainly, having one's own business has several benefits. So it's a tricky way to express this answer, but very high level English, certainly. Okay. The takeaway here is practice using correlative conjunctions like whether or, either or. They're very, very effective for connecting ideas and for good answers. Okay. So that was good. I love the paraphrasing. So you used, for example, CEO of my own company. CEO, of course, means Chief Executive Officer, and most corporations, the owner is the Chief Executive Officer, so that makes sense. Okay. So that was really good. That was very nice. Good use of the correlative conjunction and vocabulary. Then in the next question, what are the negatives? Dewey, you said the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. Always avoid the word thing, everybody. So you can always come up with a better term. Dewey, what could you replace the word thing with here? The first thing that comes to mind, even though that's a common expression, the first thing that comes to mind, you can actually say that better. What could you say instead of thing? The first?
Disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? So even in these expressions that use the word thing, you can still make them better. So the first disadvantage that comes to mind, it just sounds better, right? The first disadvantage that comes to mind is the paperwork. And then the other part. So paperwork, very nice use of vocabulary there. Okay. And then this nice idiom here, lion's share. Can you tell everybody, Dewey, what the expression lion's share means?
Like the biggest part of something.
Yeah. The majority, right? The greater majority. Or proportion of a whole.
Yeah.
And English idioms are very visual, as are idioms in other languages. So when you remember this expression, everybody, just think about the lion when you are in Africa and there's a fresh kill in the savannah. There's a gazelle or an antelope. Guess who gets the most meat? The lion. Lion chases away the hyenas, the vultures, all the other smaller animals, and eats the most of that animal. That's why they call it the lion's share, because the lion eats the most of the prey, right?
Yeah.
Make sense, Dewey?
Yeah, but I agree with you. It's very visual, and it's help a lot to kind of see what it means. It help a lot to remember it.
Exactly, and it's great to use these, and it's not a tricky idiom in the sense that it's short, right? Lion's share. It's 2 words basically, and these kinds of idioms are very effective to get those higher band scores. I think some students feel they need to use these very complicated long idioms like "don't throw bricks when you live in a glass house," but you don't need to use these to get those higher band scores. You can use these shorter ones that are 2-3 words. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dewey, that was really good. Thank you for that, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And hey, maybe one day we'll see you running that bicycle rental shop somewhere near the Eiffel Tower. Who knows, right?
Yeah, give me a call if you go to Paris and you need a bike. Okay.
I will definitely keep that in mind, Dewey.
I'll give it to you for free.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Dewey, we'll chat again soon.
Yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. All right, that's great. Okay, students, I'm just going to refresh the page here. I think we have a lot of people pinging the server. So I'm going to refresh the page to get a fresh new connection with everybody. Please do the same. So just refresh the page and then send me a notification again that you wish to speak with me. And I will look for some volunteers. So just give it a good old-fashioned refresh so we get some new pings, and then we'll connect. Thu, I know Thu has been very patient this class and last, so let's see if Thu is available. Are you ready? All right, so if you're in Paris and you see a bike shop or a bike rental place in the next few years, it might just be Dewey's. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Thu.
Hi, Thu. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thu, can you mute YouTube just to make sure we're not getting the...
Hello.
Yep. I can
Can you?
I can hear you. Absolutely. We're all good. All
I
right.
can hear you.
Good. Thu, what's your business idea?
My business is nothing because I don't have a tendency to become a entrepreneur in the future.
You don't
But
have a desire to be an entrepreneur. Well, that's okay.
Yes.
You can still have business ideas, even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur. Somebody else can do it. You come up with a good idea, get someone else to do it and pay you. Right?
Of course, because my mother is a very successful entrepreneur, despite the fact that she only opened a very small coffee shop.
See, so it runs in the family, as they say. It runs in the family.
Yes, of course.
All right, Thu, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I am very pleased to answer your questions.
Okay, let's talk more about business. What kinds of businesses are popular these days and why?
Well, there are a mixed varieties of business in my countries, and but I think the most ubiquitous one is trade business. This is a type of selling and buying, and in my country there are a lot of shopping mall in my shopping mall where people close it many where people selling many clothes and which is very fashionable.
How have business practices changed compared to a generation before?
Well, yes, of course, in the past, we usually see a small corporation, but nowadays there are lots of very big corporation which is operating in my country.
Okay, we'll stop there. Good, good.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll give you the goods and the bads here.
No.
All right. So that would be about a band 5-ish. Okay. You're almost fluent, but it's definitely a bit of effort for you to maintain fluency. And there is a little bit of repetition of words. However, I can tell that you know a lot of words in English. So you know the word corporations, nowadays, operating, varieties. So you've got a decent vocabulary. I think your vocabulary is closer to like a band 7. You have to practice using it, right? So that's what you're doing right now, which is great. Also, pay attention to your plurals. So you often use the plural S, like there are big varieties. Country in my countries, you put an S on the end of that as well. Be careful not to overuse plurals and use them in incorrect ways, okay? So just really pay attention, okay? All right. Selling many clothes, right? It's a bit awkward again, which is fine. That's how we learn. It's good. Now, the question here is what kinds of businesses are popular these days and why? Whenever a question talks about these days in the future, one idea that you should always think about is technology. Okay, technology is such a big part of society and life today that there are some easy answers when you think of technology, right? So you're right that shopping malls are quite popular these days. I agree. When you think about technology, what other businesses through are really popular?
I think interest.
Think about the
game.
the
I
com-
think.
the computer, the internet businesses, right,
Yeah.
are very popular as well because technology, right? So selling apps, selling products online through Amazon, businesses that deal with visual media, right? Lots of people selling videos, movies, and making money from that. So definitely technology is a really good choice. Now, be specific too, Thu. People who are watching right now, they probably don't know, or many of them don't know what country you're in. So what country are you in?
In living in Vietnam.
In Vietnam.
I
So you want to say that, right? So, well, there are many different businesses in Vietnam. I think the most popular are boutiques in shopping malls, as well as online businesses like Amazon. These make millions of dollars each year. Last week, I bought a shirt from the mall and I ordered a new laptop online. Right? So there's my answer, explanation, example. Try it just once, Thu. Okay. What kinds of businesses are popular these days and why?
and well, there are a big variety of business in my countries, but I think the most ubiquitous one is boutiques and shopping malls, and um, I don't know.
Online shopping.
Last year, I bought a very fashionable T-shirt online.
Okay, good. Much better. Don't forget specifics. So instead of countries, Vietnam, okay? Or in my city, okay? All right. Okay, Thu, that was very good. Keep practicing. So use that vocabulary, okay?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Bye, Thu.
Bye.
All right. I think Thu maybe had a question there, but I'm not sure what that was. All right. Okay, let's try somebody else. Oh, there's Donna Bell. Let's check in with Donna Bell. I don't know. I don't think we've ever heard from Donna Bell before. Yes, you can. Are you ready? So let's see if Donna Bell is still with us here. Hopefully, can put a voice to the content. Donna Bell, if you're there, sure, awesome. Okay. Hi, Donna Bell.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you.
Awesome. Donna Bell, this is the first time you're volunteering, right?
Yes, it is indeed.
Good for you. First of all, hats off. I'm glad that you took the leap or the step to volunteer. Donna Bell, can you tell me what country you're in?
I am actually from Philippines, but I am currently in Saudi Arabia.
Philippines, but currently in Saudi Arabia,
Yes.
KSA. An incredible country. And why are you taking the IELTS?
For immigration purposes.
Okay, well, I'm going to help you with that, Donna Bell. Let's get into it. And I'm happy that you're a premium user as well. Are you using the website every day?
Not really, since I'm working like 48 hours a week. So during my off days, I try to I try to watch the videos on the website.
Okay,
I'm actually new.
okay,
I just
okay.
recently
Joined. Yeah, good. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, the videos are good. Also, definitely look at the interactive course. The interactive course is really useful. And here's a good tip. It will work on your phone. It's responsive, so it will reshape and change to fit your phone too. So you can use it on the go. Okay, let's do this. Are you ready for a few questions?
Yes. I think
Okay.
so.
All right, let's do it. So let's talk about business. What is the advantage of owning a business instead of working for an employer?
I think, in my opinion, owning a business means you have the freedom to be your own boss. I would, what I mean by that is that you have the um, you have more flexibility with your time, and then you plan according to what you believe is more profitable for your recipients, and um, that's it. You have more flexibility, more time with your family, and you,
How have business practices changed compared to a generation before?
I think the business practices have changed compared to before, with regards to technology. Uh, Currently, the it's easier to reach your recipients through the internet. You have a bigger platform compared to how it used to before, and uh, you have a variety also of you can have new ideas with regards to the development of what you are currently selling, or um,
Is this good or bad?
I think this is a good idea because since the technology can reach from one end to the other end, that means you are able to earn better, or earn more than what it could have been like before, just like how the Amazon sells their products from one country to another, all because of the technology.
Okay, let's stop there. All right. So here, with these answers, your score is about a 5.5. You're staying relatively fluent. Your answers kind of make sense, but there's definitely a bit of an issue with coherence. And the first question I asked you, because I remember in the chat you typed your answer in, right? And unfortunately, you made the same mistake. What was the same mistake that I really tried to emphasize the first? Yeah, you got that. Can you just tell everybody that really loudly what that mistake is?
It was you.
Yeah, the you. And notice how that's really causing an issue. I'm sure the other people caught that as well, where you get stuck in this you. And by the end of your answer, all I'm hearing is me. Okay. It's like you, me. And I've lost all of the other information. So the content really deteriorates. It falls apart. Okay. So what I want you to focus on, Donabelle, as you're going forward, is don't use the word you. Never, ever. As soon as you use it, just stop yourself, go back and say, no, what I mean to say is people, business owners, CEOs. Like, notice how Dewey really avoided that word for every part of his answer, and it made a lot of sense, right? So you have to stay away from it. Unfortunately, that word gets us into trouble. Anybody, native speaker, non-native speaker, it doesn't matter. As soon as we start using you, our communication starts to fall apart. Okay? So we want to avoid that. However, you had some really nice points as well. Okay? And I want to emphasize that. When I asked you, how have business practices changed? You recognize that this is present perfect, and you made sure that you used it in your answer. You said, I think business practices have changed compared to before. So you showed me that I can use present perfect. And then immediately you said technology. So you realized, okay, what he said to Thu, right? Think about technology. You said, so technology. Currently, it is easier to reach And then you said your, and I was like, oh no, not the your. So currently it's easier to reach. Oftentimes you don't even need the word your. So you can say currently it's easier to reach the recipients,
The recipients.
right? You don't even need the your. The recipients through the internet. Not you have a bigger platform, but retailers, right? Retailers are people who
Retailers have a
sell.
bigger-
Yeah. Retailers have a bigger platform compared to how it used to be before. And then you said you have, you can have new ideas, and that was just really confusing. I'm not sure where we were going with that, but that's what happens. We fall into that trap. So answer this question for me one more time, but no you, okay? So here we go. How have business practices changed compared to a generation before?
I think the business practices have changed compared to before, with regards to technology. Um, Currently, it's easier to reach the recipients through the internet, and retailers would have a bigger platform compared to how it is used to before, since they could only cater people from within their vicinity. And nowadays, through technology, we can reach um, from from one nation to another nation.
Perfect. Okay, great. And see, now I felt that you were really working hard, and I could feel your brain working to focus on your ideas and avoid the you. The you is kind of like a shortcut. It's our brain goes to that as an easy option, but it's unfortunately a very bad option, right? So when you're practicing for your IELTS, avoid the word you in the whole speaking interview, not just part 3, but everywhere in part 1, 2, and 3.
Of
Okay,
course.
and I guarantee you're going to go from like a band 5.5 immediately to a band 6.57. Okay, immediately you'll make a 1 band improvement there. Does that make sense? Good. That was really good, Donabelle. That was really good. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Thank
you
you
so much,
for,
Adrian.
and come back. Make sure to volunteer in the future again, okay?
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, bye, Donabelle.
Bye.
All right, let's give Donabelle a thumbs up. That was her first time. It took a lot of courage to do that. I'm sure many of you still remember the first time you kind of volunteered and you're like, oh, I'm sweating bullets. So that was really good. Okay, really nice. All right. Let's do one more here. I can see that Fuang, I don't think has had a chance here, so we'll give Fuang a chance. Are you ready, Fuang? If you're still there. Ram, good to see you as a premium student. Make sure to volunteer as well. Aziz, I can see you in the chat. Go ahead and ask your question. Okay. Fuang, if you're still there, I know it's getting really late for you in Vietnam, but if you're still there, okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Fuang. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you, sir?
Pretty good. You sound like you still have a good amount of energy considering it's probably like, what, 11, 12 o'clock for you now?
Yes, I'm a little bit sleepy right now, but I try to learn with you, sir.
Good. And you know what? On that note, Fuang, it's hard, but it's good practice to speak English when you're a bit tired and you're exhausted, because we don't always have the luxury of speaking another language when we're full of energy, right? So we have to practice when it's a bit more challenging, when we're a bit fatigued. So good for you. All right. Are you ready for a few questions, Fuang?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, here we go. Let's discuss work and careers. Many people have 3 or more careers in their lifetimes. Why is this common?
Is it popular that people have more than 3 jobs in a lifetime nowadays? I think the reason is that they not only want to get experience for some achievement, but they also want to sell for the future to make their Freedom 45 projects into reality.
What is needed for a person to have a successful career?
That's an interesting question. Well, an individual needs to identify his goal before starting his work that leads to a successful career. I mean, the goal in life are thesis in writing. A person must find the right position to pursue his career. Although this sometimes takes effort and time consuming, it's really important process.
All right. I'm going to stop there, Fuang. First of all, Fuang, that's awesome. You're really working hard, and that's paying off. I can tell. Okay, I can tell that you're studying hard, and not only are you studying hard, but you're studying smart. Firstly, your pronunciation is really starting to improve. So I'm starting to hear clarity in your words, and that's great. Keep doing that. Okay, so whatever you're doing is working. That's really, really good. Really nice answers, and good job using the vocabulary from the last class and this class. That's exactly what a learner should do, is take new vocabulary and apply it effectively right away, not just from what I say, but from the peers as well. So and I caught it, Fuang, so I caught everything you said. Okay, you were so fast I couldn't keep up with you in my typing, but it was really good. So I said many people have 3 or more careers, and you started by saying so you kind of slowed it down with that and that was really good. It was natural. You said it's popular that people have more than 3 jobs. Very nice paraphrasing. Okay, by the way, that was an easy 7.5 there. Okay, easy 7.5, even going on towards an 8 now. Okay, so very nice, Fuang. In their lifetimes. And then you used a correlative conjunction. I caught that right away. You said not only because they want to have more experiences, and then you said something like, but they also want to make more money, and you said because they want to achieve or reach their Freedom 45 plans. So you use that expression, that idiom from the last class that you learned. That was really clever, and you used it very fast. So that was very smart. Fuang, really good. Do you have any questions about your answers or about the speaking?
Yes, sir. My pronunciations is not clear. I think this is the reasons why I cannot get the band 8 or band 9. So can you give me some solution to tackle this problem?
Yeah, so pronunciation, especially you're young, so for you it's even easier. I mean, pronunciation does get more difficult when we get up into 40, 50, 60 range, but when we're, in our late teens, early 20s, you can still master pronunciation, absolutely. What you want to do is focus on practicing phonetics and articulation. Okay, there is a lot of training that you can find. There are lots of experts that deal directly with this on how to articulate sounds. Articulation means the way that you move your tongue, your teeth, your lips, the air that's coming out of your lungs to create those sounds. So practice articulation. Okay, and if there is someone in your area or someone you can find online who can train you for articulation, that's really good. It's kind of like voice lessons. Do you know what voice lessons are, Fuang?
No, sir.
No, but you can probably guess. So some people, their dream is to become like a professional singer, right? So, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then they have a voice trainer that trains them, just like a basketball coach or a gymnastics coach that's training you to move correctly. You have voice trainers that train people for sounds and for using their breath. You can do the same with pronunciation, training for articulation. Okay, so take a little bit of time, Fuang, and research the best way for you to learn that articulation. And then, you might have to spend a few minutes each day going th, ch, ch, ch. But as weird as that is, it will pay off, okay?
Okay, sir, I got it.
All right. Okay, Fuang, keep it up, and your English is amazing. It will also come with practice, so reading aloud and speaking, okay?
Thank you, sir, for giving me feedback. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank
See
you.
you next week.
See
Bye-bye,
you.
sir.
Bye, Fuang. That was really nice. Did you hear how Fuang said goodbye there? Very well composed, and it's that kind of language that does help with pronunciation. All right, students, with that in mind, continue using the chat, talk to each other as well, use the website. I know today's lesson's a little bit shorter, but I have to be somewhere for 10 o'clock, so I have to kind of end our class here. However, don't fret. I will be back. I'm back on Thursday with Speaking Part 1, and I will definitely be looking for as many people as possible, many who I've missed today, to practice their speaking, to give feedback, to join the premium package on the website, and practice your English with your peers as well, okay? It's very convenient. It's a great way to find speaking partners, and it's absolutely free. You can use it with the free version by clicking the green button. So above my head there, it's aehelp.com, glshelp.com. Students, the general IELTS looks like this. Thank you so much to all of the viewers, our moderators, Chen, Alexi. Great job today. Thank you, members. And a special thank you to all of the volunteers in the class right now and in the previous class as well. Review your work, watch these videos again, especially those parts where you may have volunteered. Check out aehelp.com, check out glshelp.com. We will be releasing a new speaking video in the next day, so look for that new speaking video with an awesome candidate from Germany that will be on the channel shortly. And keep your chin up, keep pushing forward. You're all beautiful people and you're all amazing. So never forget that, never let anybody else get you down. Believe in yourself. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now, and we'll be back in a few days. Bye, everybody.